Good morning. Let us move to the next article. It is about Carnot's theorem. We need a simple figure for this. Let me draw the figure. So, I have drawn the figure needed to study Carnot's theorem. Before going to study this figure and derive Carnot's theorem, let me first explain the background of Carnot's theorem, the statement of Carnot's theorem. When we have heat engine, efficiency of heat engine depends on the temperatures within which the engine works. We derived formula for efficiency. Eta is equal to 1 minus T1 by T2. Eta is equal to 1 minus H1 by H2. It means that if we have two heat engines, and if these two heat engines are working between two same temperature limits, first engine working between temperature limits T1 and T2, second engine is also working between temperature limits T1 and T2, efficiency of these two engines will be same. Efficiency will only depend on the temperatures between which the engine works. It will be independent of what type of working substance used in the engine, what type of working substance using the first engine, what type of working substance used in the second engine, doesn't matter, because we have seen that efficiency is not decided by the working substance, type of working substance. It is decided by the two temperatures, temperature of source and temperature of sink. On these two factors, the efficiency will always depend. It means that whenever we have working engines, efficiency of these working engines is not decided by the working substance. It is only decided by the two temperatures between which the engine works. Carnot's theorem is about the same thing. Carnot's theorem is about the same thing. The statement of Carnot's theorem tells us that. The statement of Carnot's theorem tells us that all heat engines working between same two temperatures, all heat engines working between same two temperatures will have equal efficiency. All heat engines working between two same temperatures. Two same temperatures means T1, T2. One is higher, other is lower. All the heat engines working between same two temperatures will have same efficiency. No heat engine can have efficiency more than Carnot's heat engine working between the same temperature limits. I will repeat it once. All heat engines working between same two temperature limits will have same efficiency. No heat engine can have efficiency more than Carnot's heat engine working between the same temperature limits. This is the statement of Carnot's theorem. We want to prove this statement using this figure. Let us see what is this figure. This is the source, this is the sink. Obviously, source will be at higher temperature T1, sink will be at always lower temperature T2. Source, sink. Source is always at higher temperature T1 for source and sink. This statement is always true. T1 is always greater than T2, where T1 is temperature of source, T2 is temperature of sink. Between this source and this sink, we have two heat engines. One heat engine A, other heat engine B, and these two heat engines are coupled with each other. We have two heat engines A and B working between these two temperature limits T1 and T2. So according to Carnot's theorem, efficiency of engine A and efficiency of engine B should be same. Let us first challenge Carnot's theorem and let us declare that heat engine A is more efficient than heat engine B. Let us assume, let us challenge Carnot's theorem and assume that efficiency of A is more than efficiency of heat engine B. We have challenged Carnot's theorem and we have made this statement: efficiency of engine A is greater than efficiency of engine B. Let us see whether we can prove this statement. If this statement is proved, Carnot's theorem will be wrong. If this statement is wrong, If we cannot prove this statement, then Carnot's theorem will be correct. Now, let us first talk about engine A. Engine A takes heat energy H1 at a constant temperature T1, does certain work W, and remaining heat energy H2 is rejected to sink. Let me repeat. Heat engine A takes heat energy H1 from the source at constant temperature T1. Some work W is done. We have seen how to find W. W is equal to R into T1 minus T2 into logarithm of V1 divided by V2. Like that. V2 divided by V1, I think. V2 by V1. Whatever the equation we got. Okay, so this work is coupled to engine B. Whatever work done by heat engine A, W is given to heat engine B. At the same time, the remaining heat energy H2 is rejected to sink at constant temperature T2 by heat engine A. And we assume that this is more efficient. Let us go about heat engine B. Heat engine B draws heat energy H2 dash at a constant temperature T2. Heat energy H2 dash is drawn by engine A from the sink at constant temperature T2. Then heat energy H1 dash is rejected to the source at constant temperature T1. And according to our statement, efficiency of A is greater than efficiency of B. Let us suppose that efficiency of engine A is eta and efficiency of engine B is eta dash. What is formula for eta? Eta will be equal to H1 minus H2 divided by H1, equation number 1. Efficiency of engine A. Then efficiency of engine B will be H1 dash minus H2 dash divided by H1 dash, equation number 2. What is our statement? Our statement is eta greater than eta dash, equation number 3. The statement made by us is eta greater than eta dash. Let us use equation 3. Let us use equations 1 and 2. Let us use equations 1 and 2 in equation 3. So, equation 3 will become H1 minus H2 divided by H1 is equal to H1 dash minus H2 dash divided by H1 dash. That is nothing but where to write here. W by H1 is equal to W by H1 dash. Equation number 4. W and W is same because this is the work done by A and this work done is supplied by A to B. That W is here. So this W is what? H1 minus H2 as well as H1 dash minus H2 dash. W is same. W is same. If W is same, for a W by H1 to be greater than W by H1 dash, what should be relation between H1 and H1 dash? The figure in the numerator is same. We want the first figure to be more than the second figure. How should be the denominators of these two? If we want first figure more, denominator of second figure should be large. Denominator of first figure should be small. And therefore for equation 4 to be true, we must have h1 dash greater than h1, equation number 4. For our statement to be true, for equation 4 to be true, h1 dash should be greater than h1. If h1 dash is greater than h1, let me come to other equations. We know that W is equal to W. 1W is H1 minus H2. Other W is H1 dash minus H2 dash. From equation 5, H1 dash is more than H1. For these to be same, how should be value of H2 dash and H2? H1 dash is more. H1 is small. H1 dash is more. H1 is small. For these to be equal, how should be H2 and H2 dash? H2 dash should be greater than H2, equation number 6. If H2 dash is greater than H2, then only if H2 dash is greater than H2, then only equation 6 will be true. For equation 6 to be true, equation 7 to be true, for equation 4 to be true, equation 5 to be true. As we told, our statement is correct. Carnot's statement is wrong. So according to our statement, equation 6 and 7 are true, equation 4 and 5 are true. If equations 4, 5 and 6 are true, A and B are acting as coupled machine. If equations 4, 5, 6, 7 are true, A and B are acting as coupled machines, one thing. Second thing, this coupled system takes energy H2 dash minus H2 at constant temperature T2. This coupled system draws heat energy H2 dash minus H2 from the sink, which is at a lower temperature T2, and then rejects heat energy H1 dash minus H1 to the source at temperature T1. This system of engines A and B is acting as a coupled system such that it draws energy, heat energy H2 dash minus H2 from the sink at lower temperature T2, does some work W and rejects heat energy H1 dash minus H1 to the source at higher temperature T1. This coupled system is acting as a refrigerator. It is acting as a fridge. And therefore, this coupled system takes heat energy H2 dash minus H2 from the sink at lower temperature and rejects heat energy H1 dash minus H2 to source at higher temperature. It means that this refrigerator is taking heat energy from the sink at lower temperature, does some work and rejects heat energy H1 dash minus H1 to the source at higher temperature, and no external agency is doing any work on this system. Help of no external agency is taken while these things are done. What is the statement of second law of thermodynamics? It is impossible to transfer heat energy from a body at low temperature to a body at high temperature without doing external work. Here no external work is done. No agency there which does external work on this system. Still, this system takes heat energy from the sink at lower temperature and rejects heat energy H1 dash minus H1 to the source at higher temperature. The behavior shown by this coupled engine according to our statement is contradictory to this statement of second law of thermodynamics. It means that either statement is true, either our statement is true or statement of second law of thermodynamics is true. Statement of second law of thermodynamics is accepted worldwide. Therefore, statement of second law of thermodynamics must be true. As the statement of second law of thermodynamics is true, the statement made by us is wrong, because of which we are getting the results contradictory to the second law of thermodynamics. Because of our statement, we are getting the results contradictory to the second law of thermodynamics. It means that our statement is wrong. Eta greater than eta dash is wrong. This is not possible. Instead, what is possible? Eta is equal to eta dash is possible, and hence the proof for Carnot's theorem. Our challenge is failed. Our statement is failed, and statement made by Carnot is correct, and therefore this is wrong. This is not correct, whereas this is correct. This is true. It means that two heat engines working between same two temperature limits should have same efficiency, and efficiency of any heat engine should not be more than efficiency of a Carnot's heat engine. Why efficiency of any heat engine should not be more than Carnot's heat engine? The reason is, when we study Carnot's heat engine, we assumed that there is no loss of heat energy due to radiation, due to conduction, due to friction, etc., etc. But when we talk of the practical heat engines, radiation of heat energy is there from the heat engine. Frictional parts are there in the heat engine. Because of this frictional part, in overcoming the friction, some energy from the engine is lost. So radiation is there, friction is there. Because of this radiation and friction, what will happen? Some energy will be automatically lost. Practical heat engine has some drawbacks. Practical heat engine has some drawbacks of radiation, conduction, friction, etc., and therefore there is loss of energy. As there is loss of energy, efficiency of practical heat engines is always smaller than efficiency of Carnot's heat engine, and therefore Carnot's heat engine is taken as ideal heat engine. So this is about Carnot's theorem. It's so simple. Hope you got it. Thank you.